Today I'm just going to share a couple of questions that I've gotten in email and in comments. And when people pop in on here, then if they have questions in the chat, I will read those out and I will share those as well. So I'm going to try to keep it super short and simple, and we'll just go from there. So hopefully I can join on my computer as well, and then I can share the link to the freebies that I have, but we'll see if I can get that to work. Okay, so if you are watching this replay, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for taking the time to watch my little Q&A. I'm going to jump right into it. So, first of all, I got a question from Adeline. Hi, Adeline. Do you have any tips for procrastination? So, sorry, I'm looking at a computer screen over here because I made a few notes. So, first of all, I just recently watched a podcast from Mark Mason. He is the author of this book. And they have him and another guy named Drew have a podcast called Solved. And it's very long podcast. So it's like 3 hours, but it feels like reading a nonfiction book on the topic. And he recently did one on procrastination. He went into the background from different philosophy and all kinds of things. Oh, Adeline just joined me. Awesome. Perfect. I'm talking about your question right now, Adeline. So I would recommend that podcast, but it's lengthy. And then he also has a free PDF that he included as well. So one of the things that I took away from that podcast, and something that I have used in my personal life in the past to help with procrastination, is I ask myself the 5 whys. So if it's something that I'm struggling with, like, I don't know, let's go with something simple. Like, I have a goal of making my bed every morning, but I just always procrastinate on it. It just never seems to get done. And so if I sat down with my journal and I asked myself the 5 whys, let's just make these up. I actually don't struggle with making my bed. That's something that I really enjoy doing, but I'm just going to roll with it as an example. So let's say that I started asking myself the 5 whys. So why am I procrastinating with this task? And the first answer is, it's just like a little bit deeper. Like, well, it's kind of annoying to stop what I'm doing. Maybe the next answer is, I don't like the pillows or the blankets, or, like, you can go deeper and deeper, deeper. And then maybe it gets to the deepest part, which is, I feel like I'm a messy person. And so it's like an identity piece. So I find if I spend some time journaling and asking myself those whys, so if I start with, why am I procrastinating on this? And then whatever my answer is after that question, then I ask myself, okay, why? Why is that happening? And then I ask myself again, why? A lot of times there's 2 things that happen for me. The first one is that I get to a piece of friction that I find in my life. So maybe I don't like making my bed because my bed is shoved up against a wall and it's really hard to get to the corners and the edges. And I don't want to have to crawl on my bed and like pull the sheets all the way through, or maybe it's the way my bed is situated that's driving me crazy. And all that I need to do is just scooch it out from the wall or rearrange things or whatever. Or maybe it's the kinds of pillows I'm using, or maybe I'm using like way too many throw pillows or sheets, or maybe I have an expectation that is magazine perfect instead of what I want in my real life. So something like that. Or sometimes, like I said earlier, it goes to identity. And and it's an identity piece that I'm struggling with. So hopefully that will help you with procrastination. I'm excited to hear back on that and see if that makes an impact. Okay, another question I got is, what is a hobby that has surprised you by how much you've enjoyed it? Or what is like a recent hobby that you have enjoyed? See if I can grab my example. I have started doing watercolor. I started last fall, maybe. I just started doing like TikTok videos, like really simple TikTok videos and just like very cartoonish watercolors. So it's nothing super like elaborate or um or extreme, but I've been having some fun. So um my my kids and I, so here's like some spiders. I did some that were very like that were very themed on the holiday. I did it. Here's like some bubbles. Here's a like a map that I did with my son. It was like you put an orange and you put the map down and then you do watercolor, and it was fun. We've had some fun like just making some things. So here's one I did recently that was really fun. It's like the stripes. So yeah, so watercolor has been something that I have been surprised by. It's been a hobby that I have really enjoyed and just been having some fun with. And I just pick it up every now and then, maybe like once or twice a month, um, when I'm just want to feel a little bit creative. Um, Another question, what is the last book that you couldn't put down? So that one, I really enjoyed this one. I am a total nonfiction nerd. Um, Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdal. Um, Excellent. Absolutely excellent. The audiobook was really great. I enjoyed listening to the audiobook and also reading the physical book. He has a whole bunch of really great like graphs and charts and things in here. There's a lot of visual. So if you do the audiobook, definitely also um, get the shelf trophy because he's got a bunch of visual things that are just a lot of fun. Like here's a little chart. So he does try to describe them in the audiobook, but it's so much more fun to just look at it in the book. And then I think there's also like a printable piece to it that you can download. So highly recommend this one. Really enjoyed it. Um, I have one that I did not finish. It's a DNF. I didn't enjoy it. I do have quite a few underlines. I do have some insights that I got from it, but it just felt. I love Cal Newport though, but like I really like his writing. I have quite a few of his books on my shelf. But I just didn't like this one. And I really wanted to. It's like my thing. We have The Lost Art of Accomplishment Without Burnout. Like this should be my thing. And I struggled with it. It was not fun for me. So, several times when I was reading it, I fell asleep on the couch, which is not normal for me when I'm reading a nonfiction book. So, I do have underlines. It does have great insights in there. It just felt very slow, but not in like a restful way, in kind of a repetitive, boring way. And and I just struggled to connect with it. And it felt like a college lecture that didn't have very good examples in it. So anyway, that was one that I did not finish. Um, okay, one more question. What of your pets causes the most problems during your writing time? I would say that it's my dog, my puppy. Her name is Bella. She is quite rambunctious. She is upstairs right now with my kids. But yeah, I don't really get interrupted when I'm doing my writing time by my kids. I do get interrupted by my animals. So that is something that drives me crazy. But I have my cats in here. There's a cat in the window in that bed. We can't really see him. And then there's a cat in the chair. And then there's usually dogs laying on the ground behind me. But they're upstairs right now. So let's see. does anybody have any more questions in the chat? If you have any more questions, please pop those in, and I will answer those. But I'm going to keep this one nice and short, so I will wrap it up. I have a link that I will share with you. I'll put that here in the chat. I have a link that I will share with you with some freebies. I have been creating lots of freebies to go along with my book. And also because it's the beginning of the school year, I often create a lot of freebies for myself. I create a lot of printables that I use in my own life. And so while I'm in the midst of creating those for myself, I also make them available to you guys so that you can enjoy them too. Okay, I've got a question in the chat. Do you ever struggle with writer's block for a long time? So when you mean long time, you mean like the writer's block is hitting me for a long time? Is that what you're meaning there, Adeline? I would say that there have definitely been times, yeah, she said that, yeah. So there have definitely been times in my life where I have been writing and writing and writing. When I wrote my book, I'll just point to it's backwards on my phone and it always confuses me. Right there. My book, Subtle Resistance. I actually wrote that entire book in about 4 months. Like from beginning idea to draft to like completed manuscript was about 4 months. Just hours and hours every day, just going and going and going. I also took a lot of blog posts that I had previously written and used those as like a starter draft. And so, yeah, wrote that whole thing. I think I wrote about 50,000 words in like 4 months. So it was pretty crazy. Yeah, she's saying that's a lot of dedication. Yes. Yeah, it was a little bit intense. I would not recommend that, but it just like poured out of me that way. I also was trying to get a deadline completed so that my editor could work on that, which things ended up changing because she got sick with cancer. And that's a different story, but I had to do some adjustments there. So the actual writing part was like a sprint. It was like a marathon sprint situation. And then once I got past that, I was working on the editing process and all that in the editing process, and then the publishing part of it, and formatting for publishing took quite a bit of time. But there was chunks in there where I didn't do a lot of writing because I just was tired. I was spent. I was feeling just worn down. I would say that kind of right now I'm kind of in that zone. I've been writing like a couple of short things and some blog posts and things like that, but a lot of the posts that I have been putting out there have been written several months ago. I wanted to take the time this summer to just live and to live well. I'm going to reach over here to my bookshelf. I have this quote from Benjamin Franklin. It says, either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. And so that is something that I think about often when I'm struggling with writer's block and when I'm struggling with just writing fatigue or just not being able to come up with fresh material, is that if the writing does not flow out of me naturally, then I need to do something worth writing. So I take the time to invest in myself by spending time in relationships, spending time in nature, journaling, where it's writing that no one else is going to read, going on long walks, reading excellent books, fiction, nonfiction, different genres, pushing myself outside of the boundaries of what I normally read. I am in an online book club with Leah Bowden. It's part of the collective. And this last couple months, we've been reading poetry, which is a little bit outside of what I would normally choose to read, but it's been actually really good for me creatively because I've been thinking about different words and adjectives, and it's been encouraging that way. So yes, I would say you're stuck in writer's block, do something worth writing. Spend time in vibrant, healthy relationships. Get to know yourself in a new way. Maybe try something like watercolor or painting or clay or spend some time in hobbies that are creative but not necessarily with words. So hopefully that will help. I see in her comments. Yeah, thank you, Adeline. That's very encouraging. She's just saying thank you, and she loves that. And yeah, hopefully that will help you. And also just understand that if we look at our lives like seasonally, if we lean back and look at our lives in like a year, in the midst of a year, there's going to be times where you're going to output and you're going to be more creative than others. And that's okay. There's going to be times where you're going to be more inspired to organize different parts of your home or your room or whatever. And there's going to be times where you're going to want to cook a bunch of meals from scratch. And then other times where it's like, let's just choose the easy option. So, let that ebb and flow happen in your life and realize that you don't have to do everything all at once. So you don't have to be making meals from scratch and like working on a painting and writing a novel and organizing closets. Like, let yourself go with what makes sense for the season that you're in. So right now we're just coming out of summer, going into the school year, depending on where you are in the country, in the world, and what your schedule is like. And so I would say if you're getting into the school year, now is not a good time to tackle huge, massive, creative projects. Like maybe just get your normal school schedule back in gear. Maybe just get like your normal routines in place, and then make sure that you're like listening to excellent audiobooks, that you have that, fresh ideas coming in. Yeah. So that's what I would recommend. Sorry, I got kind of excited and went on a long tangent on that one. So hopefully that's helpful. I don't have any more questions. Aw, thank you. I'm getting some comments in the chat that this is a great reminder, perfectly timed. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining. It's really good to see you. I don't have any more questions. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this one, but I will send you guys that secret link, and please continue to like and comment on my post. It really means a lot when you guys take the time to do that. Trying to get my writing out there, trying to encourage people. If you don't have your copy of Subtle Resistance, please check it out. And I will see you all on a new live soon.